Hello. I'll start with reading straight from the title of the book. In the year 2020X, Japan has entered a new age of inter-isekai exchange thanks to a light novels and manga industry. Kita is a high school student living on his own and working to become a top manga artist. When the nerdy, nighty, and cringy high elf Cert moves next door, she has a blast at him for high sky for disrespecting elvenkind in his latest manga. And are other sparks gonna fly? Well, that's the basic about the series called Does a Hot Elf Live Next Door to You? Starts off typically with this is reverse isekai, where the people from the other world come to this world. So you have high elves and other creatures that come in, and in this case a high elf moves next door to our MC because she wants to be there because she loves manga and she wants to know more about the artists. And of course the first person she meets is our hero MC, and he stares at her for a very long time that basically cheeses her off, and she goes into full fire mode and starts trying to burn him for looking at him. And with typical manga shadows and that, we don't see any of her clothes because the clothes were magical and they burned off with them. And panties. When she does find out that he is a manga artist, she really wants to see his work, and he's not as good as he thinks he is, and she doesn't like the way she's representing elves, especially his poor drawing of them and being overly stereotypic. So she goes into punishment mode, and she can't control her magic when she gets angry, and their apartment burns down. And in the midst of trying to keep her from blowing up anything else, he consoles the landlord, and she says not to worry because they're going to build a new house. All he needs is for her because she's a succubus, so of course. After that is a typical high school setting with different species there, and you have your normal everyday slice of life series that talks about it. In this case though, you get visited by monsters, and she goes into full fire mode again, and to keep the place from burning down, he tries to prevent it from happening. So this is his lot in life. And of course, since we have magic, we have the things for magical girls. So this is the series that sets up, and if you ever seen or read the series To the Rue, that you know that in these type of series, our MC is going to accidentally do things like groping and falling face first into him, so there's no surprises here. So this continues on much enough to make this teen 15 plus. So there should be no surprise in any of these things like that. They also have a goddess who turns into a gal because she's trying to get more followers because her temple is almost down. So she goes into, of course, social media and puts herself out there to get more followers. So that's the basic of the series. It continues on. It's only 5 volumes long, so they have to get in what they can, and since he's a typical MC of a manga, he's gonna have a bunch of girls that like him, but he doesn't realize that he likes them, of course. This is a thing like in To the Rue, where you have the accidental falling down. The series does have an ending, but because it only has 5 volumes, I don't know whether it was by design or by he was told, oh, basically that's not going so well, end it in this next volume. So you've got several ways that things end in rushed endings. You either have, if they're fighting the big bad guy, there's a montage of training followed by the power of friendship, and they defeat the bad guy, and the MC gets his harem and they live happily ever after. Or you can have it if it's a school life one. You either have to wait and hope that they get all the way through and you see them together or not, and the aftermath, or which is most usually disappointing, is they they finally hold hands or they finally kiss, and we'll see how their life goes from there. This is one of those type that has an ending, but it's what you call not so satisfying ending. So we have to leave it at that, but at least it has an ending. A lot of times they just stop. The 5 volumes are all available from Amazon or any place else you get your mangas, because it's very wide distributed. There are 5 of them. The series started in 2019, and finally, I think it was February that they finally got the last volume out in hard copy to complete the series, which was this guy. And don't take the picture as what it is at face value, because I often like to trick you with the thing on the cover to not quite be what it is usual. Another one, if you like things about elves, there are series like I've covered before, is something called Plus Size Elf, and that is the series. Does a hot elf live next door to you? Is not etchy, but it's like enough with the pratfalls and that, and there's not much skin. Plus Size Elf, if you get the right volume, is more in the etchy side, and that is what you can see is about a fat elf. Well, that was my first try at a live stream. I don't know how many people we got around here, if there's anybody around, but usually what I do each time is I like to look at lesser known manga series, things that aren't out there that everybody knows. Everybody knows it, One Piece and Demon Slayer, etc. I like to go for the ones that are not obscure most of the time, but at least lesser known, meaning they're out there, and a lot of times some of these lesser known ones get turned into animes. And there was a couple this season. I had to save 80,000 gold for my retirement. That was one I covered recently. There's been several, so getting to read these things before they come out into anime series is usually better, because you can get, especially if they're in hard copy, you can actually get a hold of them. When the series comes out, a lot of the times the series go and completely sell out. Like Bochi, it was not a very, very popular series, but when this anime came out, it was very hard to find the first few volumes, so they had to reprint them to get them out. So I don't know if anybody else is here to ask any questions, so I'll just continue on, and that's it, unless there's anything else anybody's got. Usually my videos are around 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. Took a little more in this one. I was hoping there'd be some people here to ask some questions, but there isn't, so this will just go up and be supplemented as extra when there'll be a new series out tomorrow that I'll be covering, and I post every Monday. Thanks for coming in, and